What's going on, everybody? It's your host of the Blasting Thoughts podcast, and I'm here to let you know if you've been thinking about starting your own podcast but don't know where to go, then look no further, because Anchor is a tool for you. Anchor is a free podcast distribution site that allows you to record your podcasts, and you can edit them on the site yourself, and then you can upload them. They'll even help expand your podcast to more platforms just by a click of a button, distribute them to other platforms such as Spotify or Apple. And if you want to make money from podcasting, Anchor helps with that too, by helping you get ads you can promote on your podcast, just like what I'm doing right now. So look no further and go download the Anchor app or go to anchor.fm and start your podcasting journey today. Peace. What's going on, everybody? This is True Relaxation here, and I'm back again with another episode of the Relaxing Thoughts podcast. We are now on episode 12. This episode gonna be a little light one. I'm just gonna talk about some gaming stuff for the most part. At the end, I have a few questions from a couple of people, and yeah, that's mainly it. If you want to ask questions as well, or bring up a topic that I should speak about, you can message me on Anchor, or you can message me on my Instagram, digi_relaxation, and yeah, I have no problem responding to you guys on the podcast. But yeah, so kick this off as always. What's been going on with me? To be honest, not much. I mean, I haven't really been watching anything or doing anything much. Just simple stuff. Just been gaming. I finished the Medium walkthrough. I'm pretty sure I probably brought that up the last episode. I don't think so, but if I didn't. Yeah, I finished the Medium walkthrough. I streamed it, and then I put the whole thing on my YouTube page. Both my Twitch and YouTube is Digital Relaxation, if you would like to follow and subscribe. The game, I guess this will be my mini review, because I'm sure I talked about it, but I just want to give like a final review, overall discussion about it. So the game, I'll try not to get spoilers, but the game is I guess it's a psychological horror. I have been noticing, I don't know if they market it as a survival horror, but I've been noticing some people who claim that it is, and I never once got that idea from it. So I don't know if maybe I was not paying attention, because I'm the kind of guy that usually I try not to get excited about video games no more, because I feel like there's a lot of times that I've been excited for games and then I probably play them, or I'll just see them and it's don't look like it's something, just don't look like what I was expecting the first time I seen it. So I usually try to go off the initial trailer or reveal to see if it's something that'll interest me. And when I first seen the trailer at E3, I think it was E3 or the other gaming event they had when they were showing game trailers, I don't remember it, but it looked very interesting, very spooky, very dark. It's just gonna be something very strange and creepy, but I realized real quick, well, not real quick, but I realized by the end of the game that, I don't know, I felt very misled. The whole, they were showing stuff about a woman giving birth or whatever, and something about the womb, and how the child is the cause of all of this or something like that. And the game technically really had nothing to do about that at all. And I was I just noticed that whatever it is they were trying to portray with that trailer definitely did not like. It was interesting because that trailer is what got me wanted to play the game, but it had nothing to like. It did not match up at all. So I'm like, I don't know what happened. I didn't see anything else after that. So maybe they probably tweaked whatever trailers afterwards that came afterwards that made it make sense. But the initial one definitely did not make sense with the whole story after you completely beat the game. After that, the game is, I played it on PC using the Game Pass. I have seen a lot of reviews and a lot of people speak on the optimization. I had a bad optimization situation. It's probably a PC only thing. I don't know. Like, I have seen gameplays and like it seems alright for some people, but most of the time also I seen like the same issues, like when the game was through the mechanic where she was split into two different realities. The game will drop frames very badly, and it's just almost bad to watch sometimes. And you spend a lot of the game in like that mode, so it's like, yeah, you're hurting your eyes the whole game. But yes, I don't know how, like, I don't know where would be the best place to play it. I don't know if you should play it on Xbox, since that's where it's technically was quote unquote released on as an Xbox exclusive, but you know, you can also get it on PC because, yeah, exclusive. I'll get into that later. So yeah, other than that, the game storyline wise, it takes a while for you to understand what is going on. Like, I remember just playing the game and like a third way into the walkthrough, I'm just sitting here thinking and like, what am I doing? Like, I know I've been sent here. I know someone wants me to like explain something to me or whatever, but what am I doing? Like, I don't know. The only character that you really know in the game for like a good 80% of the game you play, you're only just stuck with one person. You encounter a couple of people here and there in the other world, but that's mainly it. You're mainly always just playing with the main character, Marianne, and it's like she has like, there's no direction we're going. Like, I don't know what she's trying to figure out. I don't know why she's trying to figure it out. I don't know what's going on, but it takes a while. So eventually you figure out what's going on. Like, during a certain cutscene, you're like, oh, okay, this is what this is. So the overall game, of course, without spoiler, the game technically is basically, once you're done playing it and realize what's going on, is mainly about breaking down, like, I guess it's like it's like manifesting people's traumas and pain and their darkness, like their inner darkness, and they're like manifesting it into basically a horror game. Like, what would it look like if you were like, you know, constantly sad all the time? Like, what would that inner beast look like if you was someone who just likes to hurt people a lot, or just a bunch of other things? So it was interesting, but then the game took a weird turn. About halfway through, it touched on some things that I was starting to feel uncomfortable with when I was playing. And then the game is weird, like they trying to like halfway justify the actions that happen by making you go through that person's memories and seeing why they had their inner monster. And it was like, by this time, after you realize what happened, you don't care. And it was like, I don't know. I don't think it's possible if it was done in reverse, like say we were fighting this monster or whatever, and then maybe somehow when we like its final moments, we start seeing his memories and stuff and realize what it really done, and that would make it feel like, oh, we was like supposed to be sad about this person at first, and then we realized what he really done to become the monster, and it's like, okay, now he deserves to die. But it was kind of the opposite of the way. It was like, oh, this monster done something very bad, he deserves to die, but let's see why. And then it's like, oh, I'm sorry. So it was weird. Like, I don't understand what they were like. I understand what they were trying to say, like everyone have their demons, but at the same time it's like certain things you shouldn't try to technically defend. But other than that part of the storyline, it was fairly enjoyable. Like I said, it was not a survival horror or nothing. There's technically no combat in the game, so there's technically no real threat or danger. Yes, you are chased by some monsters or attacked by some monsters here and there, but it's really nothing that you can handle. The game kind of holds your hands on how to get through these things. The game works on like a camera system that's like, it's a fixed camera. They're trying to make it very cinematic, and like you can't control what you see. So the camera angle usually always shows you where you should be going. So there's never, it's like the only times you could get lost is like when you're just stuck on the puzzle, and most of the puzzles is not all that hard. It was just one that was annoying, for reasons, obvious reasons, because you have to use a game mechanic to figure it out. But other than that, I want to say you should really be stuck on anything. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, for a first, because this is technically the first Xbox exclusive since the next generation began, and I would say it's probably a below average start. I mean, the game mechanic was cool. The art style was good. Like the game, when it worked, it was beautiful. It was good voice acting, great, character design, great level design, great soundtrack. But it was very slow in the beginning on why you even playing this game. Like, it starts off with you doing one thing, and then it completely goes to something else. So it's like whatever just happened back there was like, it made no sense. So what I thought it would be was like one of those things that have like an episodic storytelling, where one thing happens in one section of the game, and then it leads into another section of the game, and that's its own mini story. But no, technically all comes together in the end, even though it really don't. But yeah, so what I suggest you guys getting it and playing it, for Xbox users, I mean, like I said, this is technically only exclusive or whatever, but I still recommend. The way I got it was on the Game Pass, and that was because I paid a $1 subscription fee for it. So for me, I feel like I got my money's worth with that one, but I don't know if it's full price. And the funny thing is that the full price is not even like the technical full price. It's like $45 full price. I probably say maybe $30. If it was, then you should get it at that price. But if not, if you have the Game Pass already, then yeah, definitely try it out. Why not? But I don't think it's really worth full price, especially for, I would say, for PC users, if the optimization is like universal, because that is terrible. Like, you basically spending all that money and like the frame rate just hurting your eyes. It could be unplayable for some people if that thing bothers you. So yeah, that's my final verdict with that. But other than that, I've been planning things big. I'm trying to take my YouTube channel to another direction and branch out some bunch of different things. So definitely be on the lookout for that. Trying to work harder and better at producing like more quality content, and yeah, take it to another level. Like I never really wanted to 100% just be the dude that just plays a game and just uploads videos about it. Like, what upload me just playing it. I think I should like kind of leave that to just me streaming. So I want to like do more that I know I'm capable of on my YouTube. So be on the lookout for that. Definitely. It will still mainly be gaming related, probably more other stuff too. I also put on my podcast things there too. So yeah. But as for that, we could get into the main topics now. Like I said, it's not much I'm gonna be talking about. Just some gaming stuff here and there. The Nintendo Direct has recently happened. And yeah, I mean, let's talk about it. First, it felt weird for me personally, because I felt like all 2020, like right before the pandemic like hit, like I feel like Nintendo was planning on going strong. Like, they released Animal Crossing like back at March, which was perfect timing for when the lockdown kind of just happened, so everyone had like basically the perfect game to play to pass time. But it felt like they didn't keep going after that, and it felt like they got quiet the rest of the year. For me personally, there wasn't no games that I was like, oh, let me pick my Switch back up for. Like, the last game I really got was Animal Crossing, and the last game I took serious on my Switch was Animal Crossing. So, and it sucks because I like the Switch. I always tell people that if you want to like get a console or whatever, like people ask me if I should switch to PC gaming or get a console, I always say get a PC and get a Switch, because the Switch, you really can't go wrong, because usually most of their games is really locked there. Like, you know what you're getting. You're gonna get the Marios, the Smash Brothers, the Zelda, and all that. You know, with Xbox and PlayStation, like I said, the Median came out on the Xbox, but I could get it on my PC. So it's like, most of the time, there's sometimes here and there games are gonna be stuck on one platform, mainly on PlayStation, like God of War or something. As of right now, there's no plans of seeing like God of War or The Last of Us on PC. But to the time that happens, then I mean, I guess I'll lean towards PlayStation, but that's very picky, because the Switch also has multiplayer games as well, such as a game that I'm going to speak on later, Overwatch, what you call it? I wasn't going to say that. I was going to say Splatoon, but that's actually a thing. Fighting games such as Mortal Kombat, Dragon Ball Fighters, of course Fortnite. That's universal in terms of crossplay and crossplat. So I mean, you can't go wrong, especially the handheld system. Especially, you don't want to sit in your chair on your computer all day. Just take a break, lay down in your bed, grab your Switch. Like, if you're gonna be spending 100% of your time sitting in a chair from your PC to your Xbox to your PlayStation, is like, you might as well just stick to one, because like, it's an uncomfortable experience just sitting there all the time. So like, the Switch is definitely a good change of pace. It's like, all right, let me just go lay down real quick, rest my body up. I still want to play games. So, but I feel like, yeah, Switch personally been quiet for me the whole 2020. So I feel like this is the first time they actually popping back up and saying, "Hey, we still exist." So, for me, this is my, I guess, reintroduction to seeing what it is Nintendo's trying to do this year with this direct. And further on, start off just overall talking about how I feel about the whole direct as a whole. I mean, I say it's average for me personally. It's very down the middle. There's one great good thing about it and one negative, but the negative is really personal. The good thing is, I mean, cause it's one of the biggest critiques for me is at least they showing that they have games coming out. Xbox and PlayStation, I can't even tell you what's coming out next myself. Like that's exclusive to that console. Like I don't know. Like, so I'm waiting for another Xbox and PlayStation event. I mean, we know usually like June, July is E3 season, but since we're during this time last year, it was pretty much canceled and everything was done online. So now that things is semi-normal, you know, people can go places because they don't want to jam packed. I don't know how it's gonna work this time around, but they might showcase games earlier. Like, 'cause I know they were showing the games a lot. Like it was a lot. It felt like a lot longer compared to like E3. Usually E3 is like a week long, and usually like a week and a half long. Like they show some like the games that didn't get the big reveal will come out like a little week later. But this, like last year, I felt like it was like a good month of just talking about video games, which is great. But yeah, like I just don't remember what was coming out for like Xbox and PlayStation that's supposed to be coming out this year. I'm not sure if God of War 5 is coming out this year, so there's that. But yeah, I believe Halo got pushed back because of that reveal that they showed. So I don't know if it's this year as well either or next year. So games are getting pushed back again. Some of them, of course, they saying it's because of Corona. Other times it's just because they just pulling out a bad product. But yeah. So I mean, so yeah, the good thing is at least Nintendo's showing you that they have games. I am noticing that a lot of their games is coming out for the summer. I do know that summertime usually is a slow time for gaming, so that is I would say very smart on Nintendo's part on trying to capture that period of time before, you know, the big boys come in with their annual releases, you know, the 2Ks, the Call of Duties. There's a rumor that there might be another Battlefield coming out. That's one of the big exclusives. So if God of War 5 is coming out, that's definitely probably gonna come around that time, like the holiday season. So I like that Nintendo's like, all right, until then, like, you know, when the weather's warm and maybe some people are still gonna be stuck inside, who knows, we got you with some games. But definitely bad thing, which is this one personal, sadly majority of those games did not interest me. I will talk about the few games that really stood out to me that caught my attention, but most of them were I know some people like the certain games that was released or announced, but for me some of them didn't do it. Maybe I'll have another opinion, I don't know. I would like to actually branch out to more game genres, so maybe I'll try once if I have the time. So yeah, let's get into one of the first games that were announced that caught my attention. Like I said, I'm not gonna talk about every game. I'm only gonna talk about the ones that interested me. I'll be here all day just talking about games that I don't particularly care for at the moment. So yeah, so the first game that got announced, Fall Guys is coming to the Switch. I have Fall Guys for PC. I feel kind of surprised. Like certain games, I feel like they should be long somewhere. I I thought Fall Guys would be one of those games that would already be on the Switch. Like it seems very perfect for the Switch. I think it'll be Switch is. I see. Switch is mainly trying to cater towards more local online. Which is funny because I feel like Switch is trying to keep couch gaming alive. Despite this used to be a critique of mine back in like the Xbox One days. Me and my boys would talk about like the fact that co-op games feel like they're dead. Like everything is just either storyline driven, which I'll give that to Sony, with God of War, Uncharted, Left 4 Dead. I'm not Left 4 Dead, Last of Us. And Xbox, usually, everything is just multiplayer driven. Halo, Gears of War, Call of Duty, Forza. It just feels like everything they want to be either super competitive or just super story driven. Solo gaming is like whatever happens is just sitting down and just playing with your friends, I guess. Like not everything needs to be a big online event. Like it bugs me because I would sit there, like I would be playing like maybe Gears of War or something, and I'd be like like, I mean, multiplayer is cool and all. I had great memories when I first played Gears 2 and stuff, but I miss when the campaign used to actually like get me hyped. Like I remember watching the Gears of War 2 E3 gameplay demo like almost religiously. I used to watch that because it was so exciting. Like the level design that they showed, the moment in the game that they showed, it showcased a lot of different unique features that came from one to the second game. More executions, more weapons, more animations, just everything. I was like, bro, I can't wait to play this game, and I can't wait to play that level. Funny thing is that level is like towards the end of the game, but yeah, like I was so excited just to play the campaign and like playing it with my friends, and how many times like beating campaigns multiple times because it was just that good and that fun. To now is like I had to force myself to beat Gears of War 4. I didn't beat Gears of War 5. I think I only played like the first level and just stopped. So it was like, I don't know. I feel like Nintendo is trying to it's trying to keep it alive, but it just don't feel right. It's hard to explain. Like their games is more, I wouldn't say it's couch gaming, it's more party gaming. Like I don't know, like they want you to play with more than two people, and not everyone like has a lot of people in their household like that, or like can invite a lot of people over. Because one thing Nintendo has been critical for is that it's like they don't grow with their audience. Like most of the people that love Nintendo is people like like me. Like we're older, we're adults, we're working people, some family people. We don't have the time to invite the homies over to game no more. So it's like they don't cater to us, but I would say that's where the Xbox and stuff come from. But even they don't cater to us either. Like I said, it's very, things just feel very down one road nowadays. Like I mentioned, like back in like PS2 and the original Xbox era, like they used to force co-op game. They used to force co-op mode in games that had no business having co-op in it. Like as much as I praise the Warriors, the game, the co-op was kind of awful because like you got you and your boys playing. Everything's fine when you guys first play. Then the moment you guys go too far apart, the screen was split in half, and for me, that's just kills the thing. Like everything just feel more tight now. Now I gotta look at one section of the TV And then, at that time, bigger TVs were more of a luxury at the time compared to now. So it's like usually your TV would be too small for that, and it just killed the whole experience. Another one, this one was more of a Easter egg, what you call it, co-op feature. Devil May Cry 3, Dante had a mode that it was called Doppelganger, which allows him to basically send out his double in the game, and basically it's a way to, I guess, do extra damage to the enemy. But most people don't know that if you do that and have a second controller plugged in, the second player can press start on the doppelganger and they will control it too. But the only problem is that you have to be close to Dante at all times, because the camera will not split. The camera will not move to cater to the second player. So it's a hit or miss. But it was the fact that they put it there. So yeah, now it's just like, just play online with your friends. So yeah, like I would say the Medium, for example. The Medium probably would have been great for couch gaming, to be honest, like, because the game spends like 70% of the time in the split screen mode, and could easily have the second person control the other half of the other half. Like, oh, I'm stuck here, and the other person like, oh, let me solve this part of the puzzle so that I can free him. Like, that actually be cool. But no, it was completely single player, which it was still fine. But the fact that that if it was like the original Xbox PS2 days, that would have definitely happened. Like, you definitely would have been able to control the second person. So yeah, but I mean, they trying. Fall Guys sadly isn't a couch gaming experience; it's an online experience, and that's what sucks, because I think that game probably would be even bigger if it came out originally on the Switch as a couch gaming with online costs. Like, cause I think it was just basically, the best way to explain what Fall Guys is basically Mario Party, just without the board game part. Like, it's just constantly just playing mini games, and if you fail whatever mini game, you're eliminated and everyone else keep going. But cause doing that as a single player experience is not fun, because you're expecting to have, like, if it was a leaderboard system, like, oh, I lost this mini game, so I don't get points for it, or I came in third in the mini game, so maybe I get like 2 points, and then the game keeps going and going. Like, if it was point based, like, oh, the goal is to get to 30 points and you win, and like, you don't win ever, like, cause it sucks, because maybe there's a mini game that you are very just terrible at, and that's the first mini game that comes, and it's like, all right, you just basically guarantee my loss, instead of like, all right, I lost this mini game, but I can still play the next mini game and keep trying, and who knows, I could come back up and win. So Fall Guys, I say, is very fun when you play with friends. I honestly, personally, don't recommend playing it alone at all, unless you're just a master at all the mini games. But I think that takes away the fun aspect of it and the party experience. But I am excited for it, because like I said, that'll be great. Like I said, you just want to lay down and play a very fun game, especially with a friend. Definitely that's a good one. Another one, apparently this game is I want to do some more research on it. Actually, I should have. It's 2 games actually. It's called the Famicom Detective Club. There's 2 different games, but only one of them, I mean, they both are interesting, but one of them interested me more because it seems more like a spooky horror thing. The way the game is, it's basically a visual novel game. Usually most anime style games is like that. Like, there's no technical gameplay, like it's probably a point and click, but usually you're reading the storyline most of the time and checking inventory and stuff to progress. I have played one game like that, Steins Gate, which I enjoyed the anime a lot, so I was like, why not play it? It was fun. I know a lot of people. The one I got was the Elite Edition. They completely changed the art style. People dislike that because the art style for that version was basically based off the anime compared to the original version. It was like a unique manga style. So yeah. But yeah, I'm interested in that. Like, I don't mind playing like games like that, especially it's a detective game. I love. Like, Medium was technically a detective game. She was a detective. I don't think she was. I think she was kind of a detective. They never made it official. Like, she never reported to nobody. So it was like she kind of like she was just a independent medium detective. Like, because only she can cross over to this other side of the world and solve why someone haven't crossed over. But other than that, yeah. But this one, the second one is called Girl Who Stands Behind. I forgot the name of the first one. I didn't write it down because it didn't interest me. But this one is like you basically there's like a urban legend about a haunting in school, and basically you're trying to solve what it is. Is it really a spirit, or whatever the case may be? So I'm interested in that. And it's a nice change of pace from just action and stuff. Like, you just sit there and relax, read the story. It's like a chill game experience. The next one, this one, like, I went from slightly interested to more interested when you think of the possibilities. Mario Golf. I don't know the complete history of Mario Golf. I know there was one on the 64, and I know that one is actually the reason why I mainly know that one is because people speedrun that one, and it was a point in time when I was like real big into watching speedrunners. And this was one of the games that I would see pop up frequently too. So I am interested, to see what the speedrunning community would do about this one. I don't know if there's ever been another Mario Golf in between since the 64 one. That'd be interesting. If not, but I'm pretty sure they probably do one in maybe during the GameCube era. I don't know. But yeah, so I'm curious to see what they would do about that. Cause they actually put a game mode in there, which is called Speed Golf. I think that's kind of like one of the selling points for me. Basically it's I think it's 4 players on the lobby. I'm not sure, it could be more. For now I'm gonna say 4 players. And it's always your go. You guys all start at the same time, and the goal is basically to, I guess, hit your ball into as much holes as possible before the person. And I know that golf is a system where you don't want to take too long hitting the ball, because I think that gives you a low score. So you want to like try to hit it in as less hits as possible. So it's not completely about who does it faster, but I guess who does it. Yeah, technically, who does it fast? Like, if you hit it, if you can get your ball in the hole with less shots, then that's technically faster than someone who's doing it multiple shots. But, cause like I said, the sport of golf is more. It's not about 100% being the fastest, but that's what makes it interesting. And to know that you're constantly like, you guys are constantly challenging. There's no, all right, it's your turn. All right, your turn. Now, like, you guys are constantly going, so that's fun. Of course, there's regular golf. And the fact that they made it a whole story mode too, it's not even like just a side, hey, just play golf with your friends, or just play the golf mode. Like, they actually made a story mode with it. So it just seems like something that can occupy your time a lot. That seemed like a good game, especially if you have like your squads to play with. So yeah, definitely be on the lookout for that one. Next game is Knockout City. It looks decent. I'm noticing that it looks familiar to Ninjala, which basically seems like the same. It seems like the same, I guess, engine and same concept, but just with different mechanic, like the different core mechanic. Ninjala is more of a fighting game. This one is strictly seen like a dodgeball type game. So, but it seems very similar styles. I mean, it looks fun with friends if you just play with friends. I personally don't think, like I said, sometimes like there's some games you realize is very terrible when you play it online because people are just terrible sportsmanship. Like they just want to win the best way if it means being crummy, and it just ruins the experience of the fun. Like people think being jerks is fun instead of just being better. So some games, like I said, I'll just say just play with friends. Don't try to be the best dodgeball player unless the community is actually like solid. But yeah, and last but not least for me, this one I've been waiting for a while now. Apex Legends coming to the Switch next month, actually, March. When you look at the trailer, I mean, you could definitely tell that that's Switch gameplay. Like, you know, some console games try to get away with like, oh, this is Xbox recording, but it's usually really in PC, which is how we got issues like the first Watch Dogs. Like when they had to freaking downgrade the game because the Xbox technically couldn't do what they were trying to show. But yeah, so that game, of course it looks like Switch, but I don't care. I just want to play the game for like the first month or two, and just play against other people who thinks that they think it's gonna be okay to play Apex Legends using Joy-Cons, and I'm just I'm just trying to like dominate the whole freaking lobby for as long as I can. Like it's the same thing when Fortnite was when it came on the Switch for the first time. Like I spent the first month just constantly destroying people like left and right. It was not funny, and I think that actually caused my Joy-Cons to drift because my dumb stuff was playing on Joy-Cons too. But like I was able to like work it better than most people I was playing against. Like people were just walking around looking confused, building slow. But now I got better Joy-Cons, and I also got a Pro controller, so I could play either way. But yeah, so I'm definitely just interested in that part. But of course, I'm mainly gonna play Apex on my PC. But yeah, I mean that's my Nintendo Direct recap for that whole event. I mean, like I said, for me it was average. Some people it was great. It would be great. I mean, like I said, at least like you know games is coming. If you have a specific taste, you know what to expect from Nintendo. You gonna like it? Like no, they showed a new character. It was coming to Smash. Smash is still going strong for some people. I haven't played Smash personally in a while. I have the game, but I just haven't played it in a while. Zelda, the second Hyrule Warriors having an expansion pass, so more content. Sadly, they did not announce or reveal anything more about the second Breath of the Wild game. I'm noticing that Metroid is, I guess, dead. I remember a long time ago they announced Metroid Prime 4, and I think that's when the Switch was just releasing, and that game has been either scrapped or just been in development hell this entire time. I don't know about Star Fox. I've never been a Star Fox player myself, but it's just the fact that, like, you know, these are their core franchises, and there has been nothing. So, hey, I don't know. Maybe later on during the E3 event, like, you don't want to reveal all your heavy hitters yet. Like I said, most of these games they announced are either coming. Even the games that's coming out next year, most of the games are coming out during the summer or summer of next year. So they didn't really announce no holiday games. So like I said, they might come out with the heavy hitters later on, hopefully. Like don't be quiet the rest of the year like I did last year. And yeah, man, like Nintendo definitely, like I want Nintendo to come back in the picture, like do something, a new console, something. Like I'm personally with like another better console that gets better graphics or whatever the case is. But yeah, like I've been quiet for a while. Step it up, Nintendo. Even though like I'm not technically doing anything bad, like so y'all giving us games, but like y'all just quiet. So yeah. All right. So I just want to touch on one more topic, and then I'm gonna get into the questions. This main topic is basically I just want to talk about, I guess, where do I see console gaming going from here. As I already mentioned earlier, I mean Nintendo just, they spent all last year quiet, which I mean obvious reasons, but still, like, it just seems like they wasn't doing much. Like they announce some heavy hitters here and there, then they go quiet, and most of the heavy hitters don't interest me, so it's like So like I said, the last Switch game I bought was Animal Crossing. Animal Crossing came out March of last year, so it's about to be an entire year since I purchased the Switch game. So definitely need more from Switch. I mean, Switch is known for innovation. I give them that. You always look at Switch to try to, they always try to like either set the bar for how the next generation should start, because usually at this point in time it seems like Switch starts off the next generation. Most people don't know that the Switch is technically was the first next gen console. The Wii U was the console game that was for the generation that came out during the 1 and the PS4. The Switch was technically the first next gen console that came out. Then the Xbox Series X and 5 came out years later. But so Switch already kicked it off first, and they introduced a great, platform. The handheld and docking it to the TV is amazing. Some of the games, most of the games were fun. Like I have a nice little collection of Switch games. It's not like my PlayStation 4. Like I literally only have like 3 games on my PlayStation 4. I'm kind of disappointed I actually have one, to be honest. So yeah, they kicked it off with that. Then the Xbox came. Well, they both came out at the same time. Really nothing. Xbox spent November, December, January, February. Took them down there like 4 months to get their first exclusive out. Most of the games were games that already was on the one, just backwards compatible, but I guess enhanced editions for the next gen. Or not even that, they could you had to wait for a patch. Like I'll say, I think I heard the Cyberpunk was supposed to have the next gen patch. I have not played it yet since, so I don't know how Cyberpunk is looking now. I would like to get back into it. I don't want to watch no videos and get spoiled. I actually just want to go back into it and see myself. But right now I won't have time because I'm working on other things. But yeah, Xbox ain't do nothing game wise, but they did try to do something very shady recently. They tried to increase the Xbox Live price by a complete 100% from $60 to $120 for a year. And then they were going to introduce a new tier, because usually it's a month, 3 months, and a year. They were going to do 6 months and make that cost $60, and 1 year was going to be $120, and that's for new people. So whoever had Live already previously, that was not going to affect you, but what that technically does is trap you into keeping Live. And for me, there's been times where, I mean, to this day I have not purchased Xbox Live in a while. Like I said, I just got the Game Pass for $1 for like 3 months. I think that's gonna run out next month. So after that, I technically won't have Xbox Live, but I don't play on my Xbox at this point anymore. So that don't matter for me. But for other people, like, you're kind of forcing people, like, yeah, you want to pay that $60 a year, then don't unsubscribe. But the moment you do unsubscribe and then you want to come back, $120. Like, that's crazy. Especially for times like this where money is more hard for some people who probably losing jobs and having a harder time getting more income than you're going to. And not only that, I read somewhere that gaming became one of the most popular things since the quarantine. Like, people really switched to gaming a lot. And the fact that you're going to make it harder for them, that was very scummy. Luckily, the game community banded together, voiced that was wrong, and Xbox immediately backtracked and said, hold on, we were playing. We're not going to do that. And not only that they did that, but it forced them to do something that to this day blows my mind, that it was not actually happening this whole time. They made it that you can now play free to play games without purchasing Xbox Live. That in itself was very scummy, because I also want to talk about, this was the 360 era. I remember the 360 era when if you lost Xbox Live, you can't even talk in party chats. Like, you don't understand. You never felt loneliness until you hop online and realize, oh, my Xbox Live expired, and you see your whole friend list of your squad together, and you see that little notification next to their name showing that they're in the party chat, and you can't join because you gotta buy it live. Like, you can't even just talk to them. Like, that was crazy. They finally fixed that during the next gen console and made it that you can do it regardless, live or not. But it's just the fact now, it's like, there's games like Fortnite. Like, how long Fortnite been on Xbox? Like, what, I want to say the earliest or the latest, maybe 2017, maybe. It's that 4 years, a free to play game. People had to pay $60 a year just to play that game. And this PlayStation 4, you can play it without playing online. PC, obviously, you can play it without paying online. Sadly, Nintendo Switch is not doing that. They should definitely get on that. I only give Switch a pass because their online service is very cheap. I think it's like $20 or $24 for an entire year. That's not bad at all. But still, like, you shouldn't be paying to play free to play games where these games earn their bread and butter by charging for microtransactions and DLC content. So imagine all the time kids, asking their parents to buy V-Bucks, and then you gotta tell them, I also need Xbox Live. It's like, yeah, that adds up. That's terrible. But I don't know if it's already in effect, but they said that they changing that. So for those of you that favors just playing free to play games on your console, on your Xbox, you no longer have to pay online for that. So I mean, that's a win. But it was just the fact that they were gonna they was about to charge $120 to play online for a year. I mean, I'm a proud owner of my PC. I believe I'm going on my third year now. Wait, no, I think I might be going on my fourth, actually. It's my third or fourth year. I want to say my third. And I've just been telling my boys, like, yo, I don't want to force people into, again, like, swapping over, but one of the main things I do notice, because I noticed that they're not, like, heavy gamers, like, no, usually when they off from work or have off time, they play. And it's like, knowing that you would have been paying that 120 just to play like 3 times a week, is definitely not worth it. So like, I'm glad I have not been dealing with that for a while now. I have no problem paying for the Nintendo Online, only if I have a reason. Like, I think my year just ran out this month. So right now there's nothing I want to play online, but if when like, I guess when Apex come out, I'm definitely gonna renew it just to play it on the Switch again. And I have no problem paying that year, but even if I just want to pay for a month, like, that's definitely fine. So yeah. And of course, PlayStation is another one. Of course, when they came out, there wasn't really much going on, and I am noticing, I mean, hopefully they step it up, but I am noticing, I hope it's not the coup, because PlayStation have a tendency of doing these things. They abandon projects that have good ideas, i.e. the PlayStation Vita. The PlayStation Vita was actually very good. I owned it. I eventually got rid of it, but I enjoyed it when I had it. It was just a problem that they just didn't support it. There was no games coming out. There was nothing to keep you playing. There was like barely no free to play games, or any at all. Most of them were like demos or just these freaking, I mean, I wouldn't say they're boring, but they were like, games you could get on your phone, like Bejeweled type games, or like imagine if the Vita was still alive and you can download Apex or Fortnite, especially since they're on the Switch. It's the same concept. Like, the Vita was great. I felt like they just didn't know what to do with it. So that sucked. They also had the amazing thing, which again, I guess I want to say they took out. No, I think they did this before the Switch, to be honest. You can play your PlayStation 4 on your Vita through the remote connection. I tried it. There is like a little slight delay, but I played Spider-Man 4, Spider-Man PlayStation 4 on my Vita, on it at one time. So the fact that was actually possible, like, they could have done so much more, like, if they just made a stronger one, because definitely after a while it started, like, you could tell, like, even the graphics of that is not competing with like the Switch now. But yeah, so right now it's looking like it's possible that PlayStation could be abandoning their VR. I actually own the VR headset. I think it's terrible on the PS4, most likely because I think the PlayStation 4 was not properly optimized for VR. But if the PlayStation 5 is as powerful as it should be, I think VR could work with it. But so far they've been quiet about it, and if that's the case, if they abandoning it, I mean, at this point, yeah, like, what is standing out from you getting a PlayStation 5? What is the standout for you getting an Xbox? I mean, like I said, Nintendo always doing something new. The Switch came out early in the generation, like what, 3 years earlier, maybe, if I'm not mistaken. So I mean, yeah, but I have no doubt that maybe possibly when they release their next big console, that there's gonna be something evolving about it. But right now I'm fine with the Switch. Like I said, I definitely recommend people, if they like deciding that they should get a console, just get a Switch. Unless, like, if you don't own a PC, then and you want to play like the heavy games like COD and Fortnite and Apex. I mean, I say Fortnite is a pass for a Switch, but Apex, I think the way that game was looking, oh god. But yeah, So I mean, it depends what you into. Like, I mean, you could just be a heavy Smash player. You know, the Xbox won't matter to you then. So yeah, I'm just curious as to seeing where would console gaming be going from here. Like, what would make like if they were trying to like, if they know it's like, oh, like digitalization is not playing Xbox no more. Like, what are we gonna do to bring them back? Like, that's the thing. Like at this point, I feel like the games aren't enough, even though the lack of like, cause like I said, for Xbox, most of their games is on PC. Like, I can play the entire Halo franchise on my PC at this moment as we speak. Why do I need the Xbox now? And I can play online free. I have to pay the 60, almost 120 a year to play some Halo. So yeah, definitely I would like to see you guys up the ante on your hardware. It's not about making it powerful, because that never was really the selling part back in the times. Like, yeah, we always, when we played the games, when we went from 64 to PlayStation 2 playing NBA Live 99 to playing NBA Live 2004 or whatever, or 2K3, and I remember like seeing my older brother and cousin like, yo, this game look real realistic, like you can see the sweat, even though like terrible sweat animations at the time or now, but like definitely, like, you know, we were surprised by, you know, we enjoyed whatever that looks like it improved, but it was more about the game mechanics that kept us playing it more. And that was the fun thing about it. Like, they made games fun, enjoyable. They made things unique. Like, oh, let's take basketball and not make them just run up the court and do normal stuff. Let's make it a 3-on-3 game mode, and dudes can jump extremely high, and you can pass the ball to them mid-air and dunk and do game breakers and call it NBA Streets. And apparently that game didn't sell well globally, because, you know, being honest here, a specific community gravitated towards that more. But for the people who have played it, we know how amazing that was. And it was the fact that they took those chances. Now it's like, I don't know, when was the last time we had a game like that, when they made basketball goofy, when they made wrestling goofy. Like, oh, let's take the wrestling mechanic and put real life rappers in it from the Def Jam label. Like, some people like, I'll always thought like, oh, that's the Def Jam version. What was gonna happen if we have Interscope, Vendetta, or whatever record label? Like, that'd be crazy. Like, because not all your favorite rappers was on certain labels at the time. So yeah, I mean, at the time period, a lot of my favorite, like a lot of like great artists was on Def Jam, like especially for Vendetta, like DMX, Redman, Method Man, Fight for New York, Snoop Dogg, Busta Rhymes. Like, you know, these are, like, you know, at this time period now, all legends. So, but not everyone was on it. Like, at the time, Jay-Z was beefing with Def Jam, so, and Jay-Z been part of Def Jam a lot, and he was not in the game. So, like, yeah, I believe Kanye eventually got on Def Jam, but he was not in the game. I think that came out a little before his time, before he blew up. So, yeah. Definitely, like, take some chances, do something with your hardware. If you're gonna throw something out, if it's gonna be a Vita or a VR, can y'all please, you know, focus on it? Don't just, hey, here's a gimmick, that's it. So yeah, but let me get into these questions now. It's only a few questions, not that much. First question is from a fellow YouTuber, Click, on YouTube. I believe it's XX space click XX. Friend of mine, streamed with them a couple of times. They wanted to know my thoughts. Well, so this is going back to the Nintendo Direct. I didn't personally talk about it, but they wanted to know my thoughts on Splatoon 3. I did not own the Wii U, so I did not play the first one. When I saw it, I thought it was interesting, but wasn't gonna make me buy a Wii U. Now that I have the Switch, I got Splatoon 2 as a gift. I enjoyed it, but like I said, it's one of those games I think it'd be more fun with friends. I think it'll be fun. I think it's fun alone too. If you're not focusing on, like, you just got music in the background, you're streaming, probably just hanging out and just playing Splatoon 2, not bad. But if you want to take it serious, slightly serious, definitely play it with friends. So Splatoon 3, I mean, I don't have no hopes, like no big expectation for it. I mean, if they just, just keep expanding on the game, the story, make it, I think they should make it a bit more interactive, because I know there's like a hub world, but there's barely really anything you can do in there, like just change your look, and that's about it. You can't really technically talk to people who's in the hub world with you. So I think they should do that, like make it a more open world, and then you could just go into game modes. Actually be amazing, like a Splatoon GTA type deal where like you just running around doing stuff. Yeah, I don't know. It'd be weird. It'd be weird, probably useless, but it'll be fun. That's the point. Like having a little Splatoon house, and you can invite your friends over, and I don't know, you could paint, because the game is all about paint and stuff. You could design your wallpaper and stuff with your custom paint designs. Like, I don't know. Yeah. But gameplay wise, I mean, yeah, just improve upon what's already there. The gameplay is actually very fun. That game reminds me of like Plants vs Zombie. Like, you went when they went to Garden Warfare, which it was like basically Battlefield, Call of Duty, but with the Plants vs Zombie skins and map design. Like, it was very fun. And it was like, but it was just the childish part about you're playing with plants and zombies. So yeah, it's not bad. My next question is from Dodge this 82. She was recently a guest on the podcast. She asked me what video game weapon would I use in a zombie apocalypse. And of course, the thing is, if it's a gun, I know the gun can't be unlimited ammo. Even if in the game, if it's like an unlimited ammo gun, it can't be for me. And if it's melee, of course, it'd be a breakable weapon. So to be honest, I didn't 100% probably think this one out. But if I'm gonna probably go one for each category. For melee, I will probably go the energy sword from Halo. Even though that weapon, it's not breakable, but it does have if you use it too many times, eventually it'll run out of energy. Of course, hopefully it'll be more realistic in terms of use. Like in the game, you only could use like 6 swings, and that's it. You gotta pick up another one. But if I can only kill 6 zombies with it, that would be stupid. So definitely, if it's like a more realistic lifespan, definitely I'll go with that. And for a gun, I mean, I could go typical and pick a gun from like the zombies. The Wonder Waff would be amazing. Just shoot one and you're killing 20 off rip. That would be great if you a person who's like just you want to have your own little place, Like you have a group of people. Y'all got your own little semi community. Y'all don't really want to y'all venture to the outside world here and there, for supplies and whatever. But in terms of defending your home, I mean, like I said, one shot, 20 people, zombies or regular intruders, whoever's in the area, instant clap. The gun do have limited ammo in the game, so it would be very logical. Also, if it's somehow possible to pack a punch it in the real world, definitely that version too. If not, then just give me the upgraded version off rip. Which I believe actually increases how much zombies you can kill in one shot. So there you go. That'd be great. Like, you know how fast, I guess low-key how fast the zombie apocalypse could be over. Like, one shot, I'm wiping out like 30 zombies, bro. Like, especially like, if there's not like, how you see in the movies or the shows, like after months has passed of the zombie apocalypse, it went from usually you'll see like 10 zombies here and there to now there's like 100 of them just roaming the streets, which I think shouldn't be logical, because I mean, you're a dead corpse. No matter what the situation is or what's keeping them alive, the body should eventually just be breaking down. They should just be dying on their own, technically. So does not, and that's why I guess I stopped watching Walking Dead, and I think that's what makes watching zombies shows and movies bad, because most of the time it's never really about the zombie. The zombies is only a threat when the apocalypse just happened, because it's very unknown. But once you get used to it, and like I said, once you outlast it, the main issue with almost every zombie apocalypse is other humans. People get very territorial. They feel like now there's no government controlling them, so now they want to control everything, instead of just, hey, let's just freaking be one big, massive, united humanity front against the zombies, and then we can go from there. But whatever. But as you see with like this pandemic, like, people are very territorial and to themselves once they feel like their lives are threatened. Like, when the first thing happened, like, everyone gone crazy for toilet paper and stuff, and it's like, that's crazy. So people are just weird. So sadly, zombies is never really the issue when it comes to the apocalypse. They only the issue like the first week or month into the apocalypse, and after that it's mainly the humans. So yeah. My last question would be from Jake. He was also a former guest on the show. He asked me what got me into competitive online gaming. Great that he specified. I could say for competitive gaming, I want to say since I started gaming, the first game I ever owned was GoldenEye 64. It was FPS. And I grew up usually being the youngest of my brother and cousins, and usually they want to exclude you out because you're the young kid. You don't know any better. You don't know how to play the game. You don't know the real mechanics. So I was like, a word. Yeah, so I sat there and mastered GoldenEye just so I can destroy them. But I didn't get into online gaming until technically console online gaming until 2011. I want to say maybe late 10. I think it would I would say probably the Christmas of 10, but mainly 2011. I wouldn't say I was really very competitive, because like it was a new world for me. I started playing Modern Warfare 2, and Gears of War 2. To be honest, I would say it would be Gears of War 2 that made me more competitive. That's the first time me and the boys like, oh, let's make our team and let's dominate. I would say that's what got me into it. It was just it's when you have your boys. I think it wasn't a single thing, like just me by myself. Like fighting games online actually made me despise the fighting genre. Like I grew up loving the fighting genre because when you play with your boys, it's always a challenge because you guys have common knowledge of the game, so it's a matter of just who can out combo each other. But now people just freaking like, you learn the deep mechanics and they just juggling you in the sky, you barely touch the floor and they just sitting there destroying you. It's like, that's nothing fun about that. So I'll say Gears of War 2 would be the game that got me into competitively gaming, and it was playing with my boys. It was mainly 4 of us, sometimes it'd be 5 of us, sometimes more. We literally would have private, that's crazy, we would spend a good amount of time like warming up. Like we wouldn't like when you play with your boys and like, all right, we're just gonna warm up, but you actually like play a ranked game or something. Like we literally would be like 8 people deep, host a private lobby, King of the Hill, and just have shotgun battles for like a good hour and a half just with each other, and then we would just break off into like our little subgroup and play online. Like we would just sit there and just constantly like, we would be bettering each other, competing with each other, and just, all right, we all know our strengths and our weakness. Two of my boys were more better with the shotgun and wall bouncing. I was great with the sniper. So it was dope how and then we just working on communication skills and whatever. So yeah, I'll say that's what got me into competitive gaming online. And so with that, I mean, of course, I'll have to ask my question of the day for the listeners. I guess I'll ask the same question I asked myself. Where do you guys see console gaming going from here? Like, is it gonna evolve? Is it gonna be better? Do you think it's gonna eventually just die out to the point where it just gets to like one console brand? Like, because I know the Google Stadia basically is dead. We know we still got our big 3, but is it gonna get to the point where, like I said, Xbox is, in my opinion, is kind of like non-existent because most of the Xbox games is on PC. At this point, it's either just get a PlayStation or a Switch. So where you guys so you guys see console gaming going from here? Like, is it something? Is they gonna finally wise up and step it up, or is it just slowly just gonna just keep being average from here on out? And with that, this is episode 12 of the oh my lord, I was about to say my old podcast name, the Relaxing Thugs podcast. And yeah, this actually went a little bit longer than I thought, to be honest. I didn't think I would touch hour, but here you guys go. See you guys next episode. Of course, my medias, YouTube and Twitch, Digi2 Relaxation. My Instagram is Digi_relaxation. I believe I've been saying it wrong this whole time, but it's Digi_relaxation. Of course, check out the podcast, Spotify, Apple Podcasts. If you guys are listening to this on Apple Podcasts, rate it 5 stars, please, so we can grow and get more listeners and more interactions and more questions from people. And yeah, like I said, be on the lookout for the next thing I have in the works, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace.